Hey guys, it's Mari. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel today. I have another 12 by 12 process today, and I'm going to be using both of the Paige Evans Oh My Heart collection and the Dear Lizzy Lovely Day collection for my layout. I'm going to start off with this white cardstock and this stencil. I think this could be a Crafter's Workshop stencil, although I'm not 100% sure. The general idea is that it is just a script font, and it is an all over script stencil 12 by 12, and I am going to just take some molding paste and put this all over this white cardstock with my palette knife for the background for my layout. And I just really love the texture that this adds to my layout. I've done this lots of times. I'm sure you've seen me do this before. I just really like the white on white. I think it just adds a really, really subtle texture to the background, and it's a really fun way to build layers on top of. And so that's what I decided to do today. So I'm just going to let that dry. I set that aside, clean my stencil right away because that molding paste will just harden into very hard material that's difficult to remove once it's hardened. So I'm going to take some patterned paper, and like I said, it's from either of those collections, Paige Evans and also the Dear Lizzy collections. So I'm just working interchangeably with those two collections. They go very well together, by the way, and they're two probably of the most fun collections of the new releases. Really love them both. And so what I did was I just took that triangle one and I just cut it into a triangle, and then I took a long rectangular shape strip out of that other pattern paper and just stuck it in behind so that it creates an illusion that they're both triangle shapes. And I'm going to take this gorgeous heart paper. I'm actually going to use the other side of it, a little strip of it anyways, for a large part of the photo mat layers or the background for the photos that I'm going to be using today. So I'm just going to try to create some rough edges here on that aqua colored paper or green paper to just create a little more texture, and that will be the other patterned paper that I use, and that's going to be it for the pattern papers for this layout. Now this layout is about my Bitmoji, or my avatar, whatever you want to call it. I made this on the Bitmoji app, excuse me, and I love these things. I use them when I'm texting all the time, and they're super cute. And I picked 4 that I thought all related back to that first, or I picked 3 that related back to that first one, which is my Bitmoji guzzling coffee. And the next one, my Bitmoji is doing the dab because think I'm all that because I just finished guzzling the coffee, I guess. And the next one just says deal with it, and the last one is the mic drop. So these are funny. I like them, and there's a little bit of a story that goes behind this series of photos, which I will explain during this video. I'm going to take a piece of black cardstock. I'm going to use my little notebook punch here just to create some more texture on that side, and I'm going to stick this on that vertical edge of the pattern paper. I've done this on lots of layouts before. It's just a really, really easy way to create a little bit of different interest on your layout with your pattern papers. And because this is a solid, it just, it doesn't compete with the patterns, it just accents them. And there's it black in that triangle paper, and then of course I've backed my little Bitmoji photos in black as well, so that works together really well. I am going to change up the way that I have that situated from where it is right now to where it ends up in the end. I just like the pink. I eventually moved the pink to the left side rather than the right, just because I like the way that looked a little bit more. I thought that it was a little less busy than those triangles behind my little photographs. So you'll see that I've actually rounded the corners of the little Bitmojis and then put them onto a little black mat. And now I've taken that black notebook, or that notebook punch paper, and just put it on the far right of my pattern paper layer. Now this is a little cut apart from, let's see if I'm going to get this right. I think it's from Paige Taylor Evans' Oh My Heart collection, and it's a little cell phone with some thought bubbles or word bubbles. And I really like it. And I'm actually going to end up doing my journaling in those little word bubbles. So I'm just going to fussy cut it just so that it looks like an actual cell phone. And I guess like the Bitmojis are really for texting when you think about it. Like you might use them in Messenger a little bit, or I don't know, maybe in Snapchat when you're messaging in Snapchat, but I use them mostly when I'm texting. So that's why I thought it was appropriate to put that cell phone. Although, of course, you are using your Snapchat app on your cell phone as well. So I am going to use that in a little cluster down on the bottom left-hand side. And I'm also going to stick a little doily back there just to create a little place for the cluster down there to rest. I like the idea of moving this over a little bit more, the whole thing over a little bit more to the right, so that it's most of the focal area is more over to the third of that page on the right side, but it does end up creeping a little bit more to center. I could have moved it over a little bit more to the right, but this is where it ends up landing. Now I'm just kind of taking a look at that sticker book from the Oh My Heart collection, and I really like the idea of using some of the washi tape on here. So I'm just going to take it and tear it, and I'm going to take the straight edge of that, and I'm going to put that along that pink edge of the paper. Now, I don't know if you've noticed lately, but my voice is not normal, and that's because I have been struggling a little bit with my with my reflux. I've had it for a long time. I've taken medication for a really long time. I went and had esophageal manometry about 2 weeks ago. That was horrible. If any of you've ever had that before, you can feel my pain there. It was nasty, nasty, nasty. And I'm off my medication. And so what that means is when I drink coffee, which I do on occasion because I love coffee, and it makes my voice go like it is right now. So you can see up at the top, my Bitmoji is taking down some coffee, and then I do the dab, and then I'm like, deal with it, and it's mic drop because it's happening, and I had coffee, and yeah, I'm going to be a little bit hoarse for a while, but whatever. So I don't drink coffee that often, but it's not just coffee that does it. It's sort of like anything I eat. It's a lot of fun. Oh yeah, it's awesome. So if anybody else has reflux out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, that's the story of the Bitmojis. That's why I picked the ones that I did. And so now I'm just going to create just a little bit more interest up in that top left-hand corner there by folding that corner over and stapling it down a couple times and sticking some of that same pattern paper that's in the main part of the layout behind the photos up in that corner as well. I'll just chop off the excess there so I don't waste the rest of that paper. And then I'll develop a little cluster area up there in that corner also. So I'm just going to now do a little bit more embellishing on the layout. So I've created the title Bitmoji Love. The Bitmoji is just some black foam thickers from my stash. And the love comes from, I'm pretty sure that's from Oh My Heart, and it's in that kind of bronzy gold, which I like. And I end up using a few of those little pieces in that tone around the layout. And I'm just going to take these photos and pop them up on some foam tape just to lift them up off the layout a little bit. And you'll notice that I don't get those Bitmoji pictures in a perfect straight line, but I'm okay with that because it's a gradual line. You don't really notice it because they're off center and they're on an angle anyways. And I did want to tuck in that little telephone or that cell phone cluster in there on an angle too. So because everything's not straight and linear as far as the Bitmoji and that cell phone, it all looks fine. And so I'm just going to pop up that die cut love on some foam, on some little pieces of foam adhesive, and just to bring that up as well. So I'm just working on that right now. I'll get that stuck down. And I'm just going to leave the cell phone flat. I don't add any dimension to that so that it'll just tuck in underneath that word love. I'm just going to take this cute little girl with that top knot there. I want to say that's from Lovely Day from Dear Lizzy. And I really wish some of those girls had white hair. Funny how that goes, huh? because I have white hair. Some people would call it gray, but I refuse. It's white. Anyways, my girl with the top knot has brown hair, and it's all good because you know what? I used to have brown hair, so it's relevant, right? I end up not leaving those little sunglasses there. I changed that up after, but I'll show you that here in a bit. I really love that little dimensional sticker there from the Lovely Day collection. I'm going to put that up there, that little yellow one, to bring a little bit of that yellow up top. And now you'll just see me adding some other little bits and pieces here to embellish from either of those two collections, stickers and chipboard and so on. Just having fun with those two collections and all the little bits and pieces that I have in my stash now. So that's what you'll see me doing. And I'm going to show you at the very end a little video chunk here of the changes that I made off camera. And just to show you how I changed, I put a couple of little sunglass embellishments in that little piece of nail polish that I'm putting on there now, but I don't end up leaving that there. And I changed them to some little stickers from the, what is it called? Cream and Sugar, I think, collection from Doodlebug. And just to bring in that whole theme of coffee instead of those sunglasses, it just works a little bit better and fits the theme. And you'll just see a little transition here, and then I will show you those little changes. So there's that little coffee cup up there, and I put another little coffee cup up in the other corner in pink. And then I'll just show you the other little cluster. I added a couple of little stickers down there, and then my journaling and those little word bubbles. Thanks so much, guys, for joining me today, and I'll see you another time. Bye-bye.